Hello everybody, it's me, Coach Joker Luther, in for another episode of the C Sharp Cross Course series. Uh, this series is about getting a very inspect and very descriptive crash course about the C Sharp language, and I'm actually enjoying this so far. I like to create these little small programs that I can use as tutorials and exercises for you guys. So, without further ado, guys, let's get into the um, uh, point of the matter, which is now the floating point variables. So, let's get into um, the first exercise. Let's let's go here. Floating, floating uh, variables. Uh huh. Yep. Let's get it here. So here we're gonna talk about three very specific decimal numbers. Sorry, floating point numbers or variables: float, double, and decimal. So what are the differences in these three among these three variables? So these three variables represent integer numbers that can actually hold decimal numbers, meaning not entire numbers. What I'm saying here is that you can use these three little variables to store data that is not particularly an entire number, a whole number. You can use decimal numbers in order to basically give a more accurate description or a more accurate value of of a specific variable that you want to compute. For example, let's dump down both, or sorry, the three of these variables. Float is fast and uses less memory, okay? But it's kind of sloppy with decimals, like saying close enough. It's very useful for like very little stuff, like for example, a lightweight scout with okay aim, if you want to say it right. Double is basically the variable that you're gonna use the most. Uh, Usually it's the most accurate, and also is the one that uses the right amount of memory in most cases. It's basically like a very balanced variable, like a balanced warrior, so to speak. And decimal then is a very super accurate. It's way more accurate than double and float combined, but it uses way more memory. So without further ado, let's get into a very cool, how right here, not here, but here, a very cool script, because I use scripts here. I'm not programming out of my head while I'm making these videos. I have basically a lot of scripts here. So getting using system, if you're going to do namespace, it's okay. I'm not going to do it. Class program static void main. Okay, so here we're going to do create a small program that demonstrate the accuracy of the float variable, the double variable, and the decimal variable. So create first float value equals 1f and divided by 3f. So why f? Basically what we're doing here is that whenever you assign a value to a float variable, the number must end with an f in every number of every float. Why? It's because you are telling the computer that this variable actually, that this number is actually a float. If we do this, when we actually compile the program, we'll show an error saying that you can't convert float to double or to an integer. So basically we're trying to tell to the computer that this float value is actually a float number. Okay, now go double, sorry, yeah, double value equals 0 divided by 3.0, end of statement. And then the last one is decimal value assigned to 1.0, and we do the M in order to tell the computer that we are working with a decimal. 30M. Okay. All right. So now what we need to do is basically assign these variables. So we're going to do a console.writeLine float equals float value. I'm going to do the same here with, oh my gosh, console.writeLine double, sorry, I forgot to create the string, double value writeLine, and then decimal value. Okay, now that everything is mentioned and everything is built started, build succeeded, let's run the program. Float, as you can see here, float variable, the double variable, decimal variable, you see how accurate it gets down the line. Float is very minuscule, right? But double, it will increase by double the number of decimals that you can get, and decimal is even greater than double. So this demonstrates basically the accuracy of each of these variables. Cool, huh? Well, let's get into the next project. So, shall we? The next exercise is floating variable 2. Then create. This one is very useful using system create a program that calculates the area of a circle using double point variables. Okay, console.writeLine enter the radius double radius convert to double console.write. Yeah, perfect. Thank you, IntelliSense. You are as helpful as you are annoying. Okay, so now we get here double. Oh my gosh, my fingers. Double area is equal math.py. This is very useful in order to use mathematics. Math.py radius, okay, times radius. Okay. Console.writeLine. The area of the circle is area. Okay. Save, build, go ahead. Enter the radius. So the radius will be, how about 42? So the area of the circle is 5,000. Would it be actually accurate? Let's see if we can delete this. Yeah. Okay. So this shows you how very well you can use double, and the speed that the compiler actually compiles the double variable is fairly very fast. So I suggest use double almost all the time if you want to be as accurate as possible without, sacrificing a lot of memory. Okay, now let's get into the last project. Okay, there it is. It's rather kind of long, some 40 lines of code, that's it. Okay, so go floating variable 3. Using system, class program static void main. Okay, this program calculates the total surface area of a prism. The formula to follow is TSA, or total surface area, equals 2 by base area plus base perimeter, okay, by the height. Okay, so let's first start with the variables here. Variables, we got the double total surface area. Okay, and now I'm gonna show you a very neat tool that you could use in order for variables to not change their value down the line. We're gonna use const, which stands for constant integer multiplier. Okay, which is gonna be assigned to 2. So when you use constant, basically what you're telling to the computer is that this integer, no matter what, will never change the value that you assigned first. For example, I assigned the multiplier integer to 2. Whatever happens, I can't change the value of that integer because it's a constant integer now. It's a constant variable. It will not change. If you try to change it, it will throw an error to the computer. Okay? Now, double base area, base perimeter, and height. So all are those the double variables that we're going to use, and we're going to basically assign later. Okay, create the variable. So now we're going to assign the values. Okay, so console.writeLine What is the base area of the prism? So we go double, and because we're doing the typecasting for this in order to input the value, we're gonna start the variable with a lower how you call it, with underscore base area. Okay, convert to double okay, console.read line, and now we're gonna assign base area to underscore base area, console write line, the base area is base area. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Next line. Oh, perfect. Okay. So now I'm gonna show you how you can actually interact more with the console by pressing the enter button, so we can follow along more orderly with the program. What we're gonna do here is console.writeLine. I'm gonna tell the user to press enter to continue. Of course, we're gonna turn off the line, and now we're simply going to do the console.readLine here. Now console.writeLine. What is the base perimeter? Base perimeter. We do double underscore base perimeter is equals to convert to double console read line. So now base perimeter. Perfect. Thank you, IntelliSense. Console.writeLine. The base perimeter is base perimeter. And we're going to do that again. Press enter. You can actually press enter. Next will be the height, console.writeLine. What is the height of the prism? We go double total height, convert to double console.readLine. Our height is equals to underscore total height. Console.writeLine. The total height of the prism is total height right here, score period, next line, there we go. enter to continue again for the last time. And now what I'm going to do here is create now the formula, right? Total surface area equals parenthesis here, multiplier by base area by base perimeter. Sorry, what was the formula again? Sorry. Plus base perimeter, okay, all that multiplied by total height. Okay, console.writeLine therefore the total surface area of the prism is total surface area. Save, build, and run. What is the base area of the prism? Let's say, for example, 12,4. I had to use commas because I don't know why I changed to Spanish my Windows, so sorry about that. The base area is 12,4 or 0.4, wherever you like it. Press enter to continue. What is the base perimeter? The base perimeter is 23.7. Okay, 23.7. What is the height of the prism? The height of the prism is going to be 40 meters. Let's continue. Therefore, the total surface area of the prism is 1940. Ta-da! How do you like it, huh? How do you like it? So that's how it is. Floating point variables. Beautiful floating point variables are very useful. And without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys could make or can make brand new exercises of these variables. They're very useful for mathematics. They're very useful for any other project that you want to create. So without further ado, guys, next time it's gonna be booleans. Okay, so let's get ready for that. Booleans are very, very useful in order to make decisions. So it's gonna be very good. Bye bye, guys, and see you next time.